Hello, witches and wizards, and welcome one more time to Medicinize Durham. This is the tour of my Apothecary part 2, and today I'm going to show you my plant tinctures, alchemical elixirs, and plant medicines. So stay tuned, and let's go there. And down here is where I kept my treasures. These potions all have a story and a history behind them. In the back, you can see the big bottles, which are flower essences. They're done like the batch method, flower essences. The two bigger ones are buttercup essences. If you live in the UK, you're going to be very familiar with the buttercups. They're little golden flowers that sort of come up in the summertime. They're very related with the summer and the sun energy. And I made those because I have a book, I think it's over here. Yeah. It's a little booklet actually that I got in a very special place. I got it in the Navan Centre. Google it. Google Navan Centre in Armagh in Northern Ireland. The Navan Centre is a Celtic recreation centre. They do some of the rituals that the Celts did. They have the huts designed and preserved in the same way, designed in the same way that the Celts would have done their living huts. So I got this book in there, and it's called The Dark Sky Flower Essences. It's done. It's written by an author. Let me see if I find her name. Wyn Tyree, if I'm not pronouncing wrong. She did this book about flower essences from this area, from Ireland and Northern Ireland, and I think probably the British Isles too. It's beautiful. I love that it's called The Dark Sky because that's literally what this place is. Most of the year is the dark sky. So she has done this book with, I think, about a handful, like 5 flower essences, describing the personality of these flowers from this region, and one of them is buttercup. So when I found the buttercups in the summer, I decided to do this flower essence. And then in the smaller brown bottle in here, I have an impatiens flower essence. Now, impatiens is also known as Himalayan balm. I'm going to try to put a photo of the flower here. Maybe you have heard of it before. It has a lot of healing properties. I have taken the energetic properties of this plant because I have found it in a beautiful way, with which I have made a little story that I hope to tell more about it in my coming podcast. My podcast is going to be, I'm going to talk about it later on, but it's going to be mostly about my findings and my stories and the way that the nature speaks to me. And this flower has appeared to me in a very significant way, so her story is beautiful. Both of these essences have their own spells written on them and what I created them for. So I'm definitely going to be using that for magical purposes. And they can also be taken internally to make an internal batch flower sort of healing. And these little jars in here have their own history, have a story on their own, because most of them have been created while I was studying alchemy with the teacher that taught me everything I know. So all of these were created collectively in his class, with his supervision. Most of them, like I have some that I've created on my own, like these and this. But anyway, so they are very beloved to me, and these are the essences from when I was learning. I have an orange tincture, orange peel. This is vervain. This is a tree that is very famous, or is very known in my country. I'm from Argentina, and this is jacaranda. I really don't know what's the translation for this tree. Maybe a sycamore? I'm not too sure, but I'll put it here in the subtitles if I find it when I'm editing. I have jar of flower essences here that I order for myself. I have Coke tincture. This is the Latin American plant of coke. It's a very good and energetic tincture. And I have, what's the name of this? Cardo Mariano. Again, names in English. What else? Calendula tincture. It's a beautiful, beautiful tincture, this. This is a type of orange, toronja, which is... the toronja is actually like a mix between grapefruit and an orange. It's like a middle point. It's like a big orange that is almost yellow, more than orange. Vanilla tincture from vanilla pods, actually. This chamomile tincture is actually very interesting because it has its own ashes, like I told you before. Let me see if I can open it and show you, because I think I have a future work with it, and maybe I will post it on YouTube. This tincture with its ashes, chamomile, has gone really dark. Although the chamomile is famous for going blue because the type of essential oils that it has, so maybe that's the case, but this creeps me out, really. The black, deep black color that it got really freaks me out. So I think I am going to distill it so as to elevate the spirit of this tincture and this plant a little bit more than it is right now. I think it's a lovely earthy plant, chamomile anyway, but I think it's looking to beyond this beyond this plane. I think this tincture has gone to a very dark place, if you know what I mean. I think it's like an underworld sort of tincture, and that wasn't the intention for this tincture, really. Actually, it's called amanecer, which means dawn, so it should be a lot more solar and not so lunar and not so underworldly. So I'm gonna try, if I can, to do a distillation of it so I can elevate its soul. It is not a lot of it, so it might be a difficult job, but we'll see. This is a Resin's tincture that I use to clean up and sort of purify and sanctify offerings, mostly from my ancestors, because resins have always been related with purification and sacred rituals. You know that all in the Bible, the myrrh, the incense, Palo Santo, not in the Bible, but in general is used for cleansing. So that tincture has all the resins you know mixed in. It's very, very thick, incredibly potent. So I use it for offerings and for sacralizing, let's say. And this is an equisetum, which is horsetail. A horsetail elixir. Actually has gone through a long process. But this is a little collection that I still have and that I kept. I haven't been producing new tinctures so far, so yeah, this is my collection. It's a very dear collection to me. I have a strong connection with each of these plants that I collected or bought or whatever, and these tinctures that I've made. I have a deep connection with them. They're not a vast amount, but they are very... I know who they are. And this is the reason why I was talking to you about the intention for the chamomile tincture and how I feel that it needs to be distilled. And so I have this communication with this small amount of tinctures and plants that I have. I know what they are for. I know what I want to use them for. And this is what I always encourage for others to do in these videos, is start small. But know what you're doing with each of the things. It doesn't matter if it looks like it's just a few. It's important that you know how to use them and why you have them. So basically that's it. I just sort of tidied this apothecary space. So this is what I wanted to show you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different from what I usually do, but I thought it was really interesting to talk about this, since sometimes I get questions about what I have, what I use, what's there when they see my jars and everything. So I just wanted to share that with you, and see you next time. Bye bye.